3 trained lighthouse keepers vanished without a trace. No signs of a struggle, no bodies, no witnesses. But here's what makes this case disturbing. Official weather records say the storm they feared never existed. Yet something powerful enough to bend iron railings tore through the landing below. And lighthouse protocol made it impossible for all 3 men to leave at the same time. Which means whatever happened at Flannan Isles in 1900 should not have been possible. December 26, 1900, the relief ship Hesperus approaches. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse. Captain Joseph Moore scans the horizon. No light, no flag. No response to the horn. Something is wrong. He rows to shore alone, climbs the stone path. The gate is closed. The door unlocked. He steps inside and finds silence. A meal set for 3, untouched. Beds unmade. Lamps trimmed and ready. A clock stopped at 8:45, but no men. Moore searches every room. Empty. He checks the west landing. The iron gate is twisted. Railings bent. Ropes scattered across the rocks as if torn by impossible force. 3 experienced keepers, gone. And 11 days had passed since anyone heard from them. James Ducat, 43 years old, head keeper, 2 decades of experience, a man who never broke protocol. Thomas Marshall, veteran lighthouse keeper, methodical, reliable. The kind of man who followed every rule, because rules kept you alive. Donald MacArthur, the youngest, strong, capable, filling in for the regular 3rd keeper. None of these men were careless. None were known for panic. All had survived Atlantic storms that would terrify most sailors. And all 3 knew the most important rule of lighthouse keeping. 1 man stays inside, always, no exceptions. Because if everyone goes outside and something happens, the light goes dark. Ships crash, people die. These men lived by that rule, which makes what happened next impossible to explain. The investigation began immediately. The Northern Lighthouse Board examined every detail. The most crucial evidence? The lighthouse logbook. December 12th, storm entry. Severe winds. December 13th, storm continues. But here's where it gets strange. The logbook says Ducat was unusually quiet. Marshall was crying. MacArthur praying. Experienced keepers having emotional breakdowns over a storm? Already unusual. But the December 15th entry is what changes everything. Quote, storm ended. Sea calm, God is over all. End quote. That was the last entry. Now here's the problem. Weather stations across Scotland recorded their data for those same days. December 12th through 15th, 1900. Clear conditions. Calm seas. No storms. The logbook describes a storm that according to every other record never existed. So either 3 experienced keepers imagined the same storm or something else was happening on that island. Something they couldn't explain. But if there was no storm, what explains the damage? The west landing gate wasn't just broken. It was torn from its hinges. Iron railings built to withstand Atlantic gales, bent like they were made of wire. Heavy ropes, secured to iron cleats, ripped away and scattered across the rocks. This wasn't normal storm damage. This was violence. The kind of force that makes engineers shake their heads. And remember the protocol. 1 man stays inside, always, yet the evidence suggests all 3 were outside when it happened. Why would 3 professionals who knew the rules, who lived by the rules, all go outside at the same time? Theory 1. A rogue wave. A massive wall of water strikes the landing while all 3 men are outside. They're swept into the sea instantly. Bodies never recovered. This would explain the damaged gate and missing ropes. But it doesn't explain why all 3 broke protocol and went outside together. Theory 2. Rescue attempt. 1 keeper is swept away. The other 2 rush out to save him. A second wave takes them all. This fits better. It explains why they'd break protocol. But Ducat had 20 years of experience. Would he really send everyone outside? Theory 3. The logbook was forged. Some investigators believe Marshall falsified the entries to hide something. Darker. Murder. Madness. Isolation-induced psychosis. But there's no evidence of violence inside the lighthouse. No blood. No signs of struggle. And no bodies. Theory 4. The supernatural. Local legends speak of phantom ships and spirits haunting these islands. The investigation briefly considered this, then dismissed it. Because every theory, rational or not, collapses at the same point. 3 disciplined men. Absolute protocol. Simultaneous abandonment. The official conclusion? Quote, the evidence suggests the men were lost while attending to damage at the West Landing during unexpected heavy seas. End quote. Official, final, and completely incomplete. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse still stands. Automated in 1971. No keepers required anymore. December 26, 1900, was the last time anyone saw James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, or Donald MacArthur. No bodies were ever found. The logbook remains. The bent railings remain. The questions remain. Did a rogue wave catch 3 experienced men off guard? Did they break every rule they lived by to save each other? Or did something else happen on that remote island? Something the logbook tried to describe but couldn't? The sea kept its explanation. History recorded the facts. The lighthouse recorded something else. And after more than a century, the reason was never written. What do you think happened to the 3 keepers of Flannan Isles?